8 laps of the track. Asia Production 250cc race 2, round 4 of the season. It's a wheelie from Adnan Putra in P2. So Andy Mohamed Fadli has got off nice and clean, the Indonesian. And he leads a straight line, but Adnan Putra is able just to come out of the slipstream, and immediately yesterday's race winner goes, oh, has to stand up because was it Aldi Satya? Just forced him into P2. The Thai, Piawat Patomyas, has moved into the lead.
Yeah, and Aldi Satcher, having said he wasn't going to go gangbusters from the off.
Never believe 16-year-olds. There is the moral of that story.
He's lying.
But Adnan then slides his way straight back into P1. He has looked imperious, Adnan Putra. Really confident in his bike. He's one of the less heralded racers from the Astra Honda racing team, but clearly has been very, very consistent.
Yeah, he has, as we were saying, made his mark very much in the last couple of rounds.
Andy Mohamed Fadli, who are on board, has been swiftly gobbled up, and immediately you can see that he's got problems. Ray Ratakori is the man who's just in front of him, and Andy Mohamed Fadli, championship leader, will be very, very fortunate to still be in the championship lead at the end of today.
Yeah, he needs a tow, doesn't he?
Ayoshi is the other Kawasaki who goes up the hill. Corner 9, 10, 11 in P5, the lime green.
Yeah, Herjan moving up into P2 ahead of Aldi.
Fadli goes on the inside of Ray Ratakori, grabs that place back. As you're quite rightly saying, he's looking to get a bit of a tow.
Yeah, tow from Rafid, I think, currently.
Rafi Topan is the man who's there. Again, Andy Mohamed Fadli goes on the inside to pick up another position. Now they're heading down this back straight, and it's still Adnan Putra, bike number 21, who's making it an Astra Honda 1-2. Aldi Satya, bike 57 in the Yamaha, poised just in between them.
Yeah.
Rafi Topan is bike number 50.
And in amongst that lot, the slightly darker red Honda of Piawat, the Thai rider.
Andy Mohamed Fadli just doesn't have the revs, he just doesn't have the power. As we've got a new race leader, Perjan Atna Ferdaus. So Astra Honda have got things absolutely right so far for this weekend. Certainly in the AP250s, and they're 1 and 2 here. The only bike really able to keep up with them is the Yamaha of Aldi Satya. Although Ayoshi is just having a look to squeeze on the inside in the lime green Kawasaki.
Yeah, Ayoshi is really up for it this time. I believed his hype in pit lane at about 7:30 this morning.
Well, he's had 2 DNFs in a row. He can't afford another one.
No, he really wants it. He's reacting in a very positive way. So we could see 3 colours on the grid. Could be a tricolor grid: green, red and blue. Let's see.
Much further down, Reza Danica Arans is right at the very, very back in P19. Now, he wasn't on screen. We've got a few screens that we can see here. We didn't see anything untoward for Reza Danica, but that is really troublesome for him. He's just going to have to work his way up the field. Must have gone off the track to be this far behind.
He will do that, but this is a gift to Andy Fadli, who's struggling with that. I'm going to call it a power cut.
But it's also a gift for the likes of Aldi Satya Mahendra, if he can get a good result, or even Adnan Putra, who's on 74 points, 25 points here, plus the advantage, the equalisation advantage in the 2 race in Buriram. They will make life really, really tough.
Buriram, another track with 2 long straights, of course. Aiki Yoshi getting on terms with these 3.
And Piawat is managing to stay the course as well. Nice and competitive, nice quick races, 8 laps. Fadli has just been able to hold on in there, down in P7, P8, just behind Anji Setiawan. But it's the Astra Honda Racing duo of Herjan Atna, who's had 2 consecutive P3s, behind Adnan Putra, who's had 2 consecutive P1s, with Aldi Satya behind them, who's had 2 consecutive P2s.
Yeah, I'm just watching Andy Fadley, if we can just, yeah, there he is on the back of that group. He has been struggling. He was about 0.7 of a second off that group at one stage. Now he's back on, having hitched a ride with Rafid Topan.
And Angie Setiawan as well, so it's a leading 8. Nice. You do feel that the Astra Honda are absolutely controlling what's going on. The front 3, you think it's going to, or you suspect it's going to take something significant to knock any of those front 3 off their perches. Reza Danica, meanwhile, is still in P19.
I think so, but best lap of the race, just set by Andy Fadley.
Oh, interesting. Ah. Do not write him off, Mr. Korkil. But the race lead is Herjan Atna.
2019 champion, Mohammed Andy Fadley. And he's determined to take this championship. A lot of people want to see him on bigger bikes. He wants to see himself on bigger bikes, I think, just in case anybody with a bulging wallet is listening. The lad deserves it.
Astra Honda, though, are the team leading the way, and a 16-year-old Aldi Setya Mahendra, real talent coming out of Indonesia. In fact, Indonesians completely dominating this, with of the top 10 in the championship standings, 8 of them being from Indonesia. Piawat is the exception, one of the exceptions to that rule. Ayoshi is the other.
Yeah, until 2018, this was a two-way battle. The field was split between Thai and Indonesian, but now it is only Indonesian, really, with one Thai rider in it.
That Thai rider is currently in P5, just ahead of Andy Mohammed Fadley. As we look down the main straight, we're coming to the end of lap number 3. Herjan is still leading the way. Adananta is happily just a stick on the tail of his teammate, and those front 3 have hardly budged. Ayoshi hasn't been able to make a move on Piawat, but Andy Mohammed Fadley once again has put in another pretty good lap, and he's right on the tail there of Ayoshi. So 1 and 2 Astra Honda, 3 Yamaha Racing Indonesia, and then you've got the Kawasaki duo, Andy Mohammed Fadley and Ayoshi, 5 and 6 after Piawat.
Breaking away a little bit as they go into turn 1. They're probably going to try and help each other, but it's difficult with these long straights to make any kind of break. But we're on board with Andy Fadley now, looking at the back of Aldi Satya Mahendra.
Reza Danica Arons, meanwhile, is still in P19 and not making any headway on Nangse or Senthil Chandrasekhan or Sedu Rajiv. And he's not even in there. He is just coming into that shot now. Reza Danica, maybe he's got past the 2 Indian racers, but it's not looking good for him. It is looking reasonable for Andy Mohammed Fadley at this stage, though.
Yeah, just behind his teammate there, Aiki Iyoshi, and behind them, Angie Setiawan.
Just 0.779 of a second between P1 and P5 when they went over the marker at the end of the previous lap. Split times, we've just had a 31.0 sector 1 for Piawat, who was the quickest, and then Ayoshi was the quickest, taking Andy Mohammed Fadley with him. But everybody's just about much of a muchness. Nobody's really been able to pull away round corner number 9.
Yeah, half distance, you couldn't call it yet, that's for sure. But it's good to see that Andy Fadley has found a way to keep himself up with the leading group there.
Don't count out Andy Setiawan either, or Rafid Topan. There is Fadley. We focus on him because he's the championship leader. But for how long? Well, he'll continue because Reza Danica is in danger of missing out on all points. Still down in P19, out of the points. Reza clearly had a problem. Of all the Astra Hondas to have a problem, Reza is the one who could afford it least, you suspect.
Indeed, he's about half a second behind Leong Nangze.
Adananta Putra, yesterday's race winner, looking for a hat-trick of wins, just eases his way into front as we approach halfway. Still Astra Honda leading the way, 1 and 2. Adnan Putra from Herjan Adna. And look at that, Angie Setiawan's got himself ahead of Andy Mohamed Fadli, so the straight line speed of the Yamahas. An almost look of approval from the Yamaha pit crew.
Yeah, 227.139 for Pirouat, so best lap of the race so far, as they go into the second half of the race now.
Just keep yourself competitive. The front three, once again, that's changed. Herjan Adna has retaken the lead from Adananta.
Looks like Aldi might have remembered his pledge on the grid.
Yes. We apologise for calling you a fibber, Aldi, but he did make a real beeline for it in the first couple of corners.
Yeah.
Aldi Satya in the blue of Yamaha, bike number 57, just tracking the two Astra Hondas. He said he's really going to go for it on the last lap. He just needs to make sure he's in a position to go for it on the last lap. Pirouat, these three now, occasionally these front three just seem to be able to accelerate away, and then the rest of the teams just group in. But again, I find it really difficult to see who's going to get ahead of these three.
Yeah, they do look in control, don't they? Pirouat's got other ideas, but they do keep breaking away.
Adnan Putra, the race leader, he and Herjan Adna have really shared the race lead. Herjan Adna had it for 3 laps. Now it's Adnan Putra who edged into the lead early on in the race before Herjan took over. Pirouat still best of the rest in P4.
And who is that?
Irfan Heikel, one of the youngsters who we focused on, did his best to hold on, but the bike just wriggles away from him, and that's going to be tough to get out of the gravel. So Irfan Heikel on his first appearance, he picked up 3 points yesterday. Youngster, I don't think is going to be in the points today. Neither's Reza Danica.
Herjan likes it at the front, doesn't he?
He does, and Adananta, both Astra Honda are very, very happy to take the initiative. 3 laps to go, and Aldi Satya has been very happy just to sit quietly there in P3. Andy Mohamed Fadli has been dropped just a little bit on that last lap. He's 1.6 seconds down on the race leader at the tail end there. Reza Danica will be hoping that Fadli is unable to capitalise on his difficulties. There is Reza Danica. He's still racing. He's still out there, but he is in P19, a best lap of 2:34, which is some 6 seconds off the pace.
And Angie Setiawan's got the best lap so far, 2:26.9 for him.
So let's not count out the other Yamahas as he moves into P3 ahead of P4 ahead of Pirouat.
Angie Setiawan, we often talk about him as when is he going to put a good race together to match his speed. Maybe this is it.
Best position in the season was yesterday, a P5. He had a P5 in race 1 in Sepang for the first time out in May. Now he's got himself into P4. Ayoshi is the man who's dropped down. Rafi Topan is there, and Andy Fadli losing just a little bit of ground on Rafi Topan. Bike 108 right at the very back there, but still Herjan Adna holds on. We're approaching the 3/4 mark of this race, and it's bubbling up, you suspect, to quite a finale.
Yeah, you certainly do. Pirouat's up there. Aiki Yoshi wants it. And Angie Setiawan wants it.
Is Fadli able to get up close enough? Is he maybe just looking after his tyres? Maybe just trying to keep something for a last lap splurge?
He's taking a wide line round there, isn't he? So he can slingshot out and hopefully get a tow from Rafid Topan. But I think he's too far away. Yeah, he's not going to get a tow at that distance.
Herjan Adna still leads. Astra Honda 1-2. Adananta comes out of the slipstream. Adananta. He then loses out. First time we've seen Aldi Satya go through. He's forced us just a little bit wide. It's all experimentation. What line do you take out? What drive gives you the best drive towards the finish line? That's rehearsal time. There's 2 more laps at least to go. And Aldi Satya is being urged to go for it. And Andy Setiawan is up there as well. As is Pirwat, as is Ayoshi. Now it's changing a little bit. Now Rafid Topan isn't too far away either. Pirwat has to stand up to avoid Aldi Satya. He's an aggressive little fella, isn't he, Aldi Satya?
Oh, he is, yeah. I think butter wouldn't melt in his mouth when you speak to him, but he's a proper racer, isn't he?
Certainly is. Now he's on the tail there of the race leader, Adananta Putra. Adananta looking for a hat-trick of wins. Aldi Satya is looking for his first win of the season. He's been competitive throughout.
Yeah, he has, and he seems to have responded to the gesticulations from his team last time they went past the pits.
2 laps to go. Aldi Satya maybe has a look around the outside. Andy Mohamed Fadli, to his credit, has got back up onto the tail of Pirwat and then goes wide onto the grass, Fadli. That'll lose him a lot of ground and could cause problems for the tyres as well.
That's how hard he's trying.
Up at the front, Putra still leads. Erjan Atna Ferdaus moves into P2. Oh, now that is that Fadli. Fadli and Rafid Topan. Topan is down and Fadli is doing his very, very best to get back on the bike. Andy Mohamed Fadli is out. Fadli is out. The race leader is out. Reza Danica will get a bonus because he may well come back into the points, Reza Danica, possibly.
He needs to get back into the points, but this is a repeat of Sugo, which was a miserable outing for both of them.
Oh, Fadli's still on. So it was Ayoshi who went off. Ayoshi went off, a 3rd consecutive DNF for Ayoshi. So, my apologies for Fadli. It is a big stroke of luck at the expense of his teammate, who was just taken out of the track by Rafid Topan going wide. Ayoshi back on the circuit.
He won't be happy at all with that. Bad things come in threes, as you said, Des. That was the 3rd DNF.
3 in a row. Well, he may well get back. Oh, there's a problem for Aldi Satya. Aldi Satya, big problem.
No, Aldi thought he'd won.
No. He doesn't think he won. He's got it wrong.
Oh, we've seen this from time to time, haven't we? We saw it a few MotoGPs ago with Alex Espargaro.
And that has just allowed the Astra Honda racing team to go through. Aldi jumping the gun. Is he able to get back? Erjan Atna is there. Aldi Satya in P5 now. And it's Angie Setiawan who is in P3. Oh, what a catastrophe for Yamaha.
He's on it now, isn't he? He hasn't given up at all.
But the mistake has been made. That to recover from that would be astonishing. So Fadli, he's still in P6, but Aldi Satya, who thought he'd won, thought he picked up 25 points, and instead may have to settle for 10 or 11. Ahead of them, Erjan Atna. Angie Setiawan goes up the hill into P2. Aldi Satya moves ahead of Pirwat. He's back up into P4. Aldi bit between his teeth, but Erjan Atna is going to be some distance away.
The fight is on here.
How close can they get to Erjan Atna coming into the final straight? Angie Setiawan is there. They've got this long right-hander. Erjan Atna, this is his race to lose, surely. But Angie Setiawan, is he able to get into the slipstream? The answer is yes, and so is Aldi Satya. So Erjan leads. Anxious look over his shoulder. He's got the lead though. Angie Setiawan is second. Adananta has moved through into P2. The Yamaha's desperately looking for some kind of redemption. Erjan Atna just needs to be tight. Look at that, Aldi Satya. Can he hold it on? The victory will go to Astra Honda, and it'll a victory for Erjan Atna ahead of... Oh, it's Astra Honda 1-2.
Well, the timing screen says Aldi Satcher. I thought he was third too.
So the official timing screen says Aldi Satcher in P2, Adananta P3. There will need to be a photo finish there.
What we do know is that Herjan Atna Ferdaus crossed the line first. There's no doubt about that.
Well, he properly crossed the line first.